Creating and scheduling posts on Hootsuite. So as Marina mentioned earlier, the free plan lets you schedule up to 30 messages at any given time. So once you reach this limit of 30 messages, you won't be able to schedule another message until one of your scheduled messages is published or has been deleted. So that's quite important to note when you're using the free version of Hootsuite. Okay, so to create a post on Hootsuite, if you click New Post in the top right-hand corner of the page, and this box then will appear. So the first thing to do is click on this down arrow here, and a drop-down list will appear of the social networks you can post to. So this will only appear if you've gone through the beginning stages that we've talked about and linked these social networks to your Hootsuite. Okay, so for the purpose of this, we've clicked Facebook. And once you do that, this will appear in this box here. This box will appear also on the right-hand side, and this basically will show you what your post will look like before you actually schedule it. You can select more than one social network and compose one post to appear in each network, but you will have to work with a maximum character that is available. So for example, for Hootsuite, it's 280 characters. And for Twitter, sorry. Thanks, Rena, for Twitter. And the tagging doesn't also work as well across multiple networks. So what I would suggest is keeping the post separate, especially when you're first using Hootsuite. Okay, so if you begin to type your message in the box here, you can see this then appears on the right-hand side. So it's really useful for you to be able to see what your post is going to look like before you actually send it out. Okay, so it's really useful when you're posting on social networks to tag any organizations that you're talking about. So it's similar that you do this on Twitter and Facebook. So just to tag on Hootsuite, you type in the @ symbol followed by the username of the organization or person. So a drop-down list will then appear of suggested organizations or people that you can tag on Hootsuite. So if this doesn't appear, it's worth going to the organization's website, and you can normally find their correct social media network through there. I think sometimes as well, I find for some reason, especially on Facebook, it doesn't like that, even if you've got the right name. So just sometimes just try typing it a couple of times and it can just be a little bit slow. But I do find as you tag the same organizations, it will remember it and then it'll start coming up. So just have a little play with it first and try it a couple of times, and it normally should work then. So once you've selected it and you've actually tagged it, it will, if the tag has worked, it will be highlighted in blue. So it's always important to just double check that that has actually been highlighted in blue. Okay, so you can link to your project page. I think that's a good idea for your organizations on Hootsuite. So to do that, you can copy and paste your link into the text box. It's worth looking at our social media webinars on our website for more information on how to do this. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified on new training videos to how to link up to your organization Good Exchange page. Okay, so I'm going to pass you on to Marina, who will talk through link shortening for you.
So in other webinars that we've run, we've had questions and talked about link shortening, and the thing about social networks now is most of them have their own way of shortening links, so you don't have to go to all the effort of doing the bit.lys on a separate website. You can shorten URLs in your post to use fewer characters, but Hootsuite will automatically do this for you by creating what's an OWLY. So you can see it's ow.ly link shortener by default. If you don't use the OWLY link shortener in Hootsuite, Twitter posts will automatically be shortened by Twitter to 23 characters using t.co. So if you see a tweet that's got t.co and then a URL after it and a load of numbers, that's Twitter's automatic shortener. If you see any sort of social media post that's got the OWLY link, that will have been created in Hootsuite. So if you, going back to the example that Rasheen was talking about, we've got this very long URL here. If you click on the shorten with OWLY wording at the bottom of the text page, it will automatically then create an OWLY shortened link. If you don't do that, as I said, and it's a Twitter post, it will automatically shorten to TCO, but not across all the social networks. So if you've got a very long URL, you might want to shorten it with Owly by using that functionality. So as I said, your shortened Owly link will appear in your preview post. You can also use those Owly links in other things like emails on your website, for example. They don't just work on the social media post. Once you've got your text in your Hootsuite post and you've got that all created and you're happy with that, you might want to add some images. So Hootsuite images work in a very similar way to all social media posts. If you want to add an emoticon, you can click on the smiley icon at the bottom of your text. You can see this box pops up and you can click on the different types of emoticons. You can see I've just selected a few here. So they appear there in your text and they also appear in your post. If you want to add an image, you can see at the bottom of my post to box, I've got two options. One is to either upload or drag and drop my own files. The other option is to use third-party images. So if you click on this box, or this will take you to maybe other resources that you've got, like Deposit Photos or some of the other free photo sites that we've mentioned in previous webinars. If you click on this one, it takes you to Hootsuite's media library, and they've also got a lot of free images. So if you want to add your own file, you just click here. It will open a box that will take you to your computer or your computer network, and you just navigate to the folder where your images are stored. So you might want to, for example, put all your social media images in a folder so that when you're creating your social media posts, you've got them all in one place. You can see here we've got a new soup kitchen picture. We can either click on the picture, open, and insert, or using the drag and drop facility, I can just click here on Newbury Soup Kitchen and drag it over to this box in Hootsuite, and it will automatically be uploaded by Hootsuite. Again, we've got a webinar, one of our social media webinars talks about how to create your own images, how to make them using Canva, how to use GIFs and access them, and how to make live videos. And then you can make them all for yourself and store them on your computer or your network and use them in your social media posts. So you can see here we've added our image, and in the preview box it appears in the media section underneath. But here I can see what it's going to look like in my Facebook post. So again, if I'm not happy with it, I can change it. I can change my text. So at any time I can edit what I can see here in my Hootsuite draft, adding my post, creating it and setting it up. So now I'm going to hand back to Rasheen, who's going to talk about how to now post and schedule the posts that I've created.
Thanks, Marina. Okay, so if you're happy with the post that you've just created, you can post now, which will immediately send this to the social network that you've selected. Or what we largely do is we'll schedule it for later. So if you schedule it for later, you can select the date and time that you want your post to appear, and then you click schedule. So this will send this out on the 22nd at 4:25 p.m. Okay, so once you've scheduled your post, this will now appear in the planner view of your publisher menu. So you can see we've got planner here selected, and it is appeared here for you. You can also check that your post has been scheduled in the content scheduled view. As you can see, it has been here.